You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Greetings, Massive and crew. How are you all doing? Hoping that you all are fantabulously fabuloso. Alrighty, welcome to another evening of Reasoning Thursday. Let me mute some of these things here, cause making up noise and then so there. Yeah, too many gadgets, too many gadgets. How are you all doing? Hoping that you all are fine. Hoping that your week was all that you hoped that it would be, and then some. Alrighty. So I just want to thank you, each and every one. However, you're listening to us, we want to say blessings upon blessings, and thank you for joining us because you could have been joining someone else. Want to say big shout out to the You Choose Radio Massive and crew. Big shouts go out to you all over there, DJ VJ Smile, Ross Dougal, and the entire crew. Want to say blessings and massive shouts go out to you. Want to say big shouts to the victorious 89.1 FM Massive and crew, Dr. J and the crew. Want to say big massive shouts go out to you. If you're listening to us via our telephone lines at 667-930-9036, want to say welcome. If you're listening to us via our website, www.dapowerhouseradio.com. Want to say massive shout to you. If you're listening to us via any of the social medias, want to say massive shout to you. Welcome. And our tuning apps, want to say welcome to you as well. Blessings to you, Myra. Myra says blessings, family.
Blessings,
Blessings
Myra.
and greetings to you. Greetings. Blessings to you, Don. Don Minor, blessings to you. Don
Welcome
is blessings
again.
to everyone. Blessings, man. I'm starting out. We have a host of topics here, and we have and but my heart is just a teeny. No, I'm not gonna say teeny, but my heart is heavy. Okay. And I received some really sad news on one of our colleagues for Gospel Vibes Radio, and I received it last week. And we weren't on the air, and um, man, I'm telling you, it is a blow. It is a blow. The Powerhouse Radio streams Gospel Vibes radio every Sunday mornings, and we've been doing that with Lingo for the last 15 years or so, and I'm just sad to know that he went home. He you know man, Lingo, I'm gonna tell you, I met Lingo some 20 years ago. Yeah, some 20 years ago. We were both on the same radio station, 1430 AM here in Atlanta. And I was already on the station, and he came as a new person to the scene. And when he came on, He came in, he said, "Hey, what's your name?" I said, "Lady D." And we just started chit chatting. And every day he'll come in and just chit chat with me and says, "Lady D, you're the only one here that's receptive, that's like, just welcome you with open arms." And he was here in Atlanta, and we just became friends. Just he always said, "You're my sister from another mother and father," you know. And I'm just really, really. He fought a good fight, many years, many years, many years. And I just spoke to Lingo last month, and he linked me with some individuals to for the station. He said, "Lady D, you've been doing your own station longer than the whole away, and you need to step it up and stop joke." And he was just scolding me last month, and he was like, you know, "Oh man," he said, "it's time for the station to pay for itself." He was just talking, and he was just reading me like a book. He called me, because out the blue, Lingo just called me, because at least every 3 4 months we were reason on the phone. But for this conversation, for this reasoning, last month particular, he was just on me. He was just on me with this radio station. And he kept saying, "There's no other show, no matter what program you're doing, there's no other program like the Powerhouse." He says, "And I'm gospel vibes, but the Powerhouse," I said, "Yes." And to get the news that Lingo transitioned, it really, 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 really just touched me, because really for the last 2 weeks it's been on my mind, and I'm supposed to call this brethren that he gave me the number to. And I was like, I can't call him until I call the brethren, because I know he's gonna cuss me out. So I'm just heavy to know that he did transition, but he was a great man of faith, and he loved the Lord, and he loved his ministry, and he's definitely, 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 definitely going to be seriously missed. You know, um,
Even in the earlies, I remember him, D. I mean, and when he come on and the way how he, you know, tune in, the way how he start out, lingo, and
yeah.
it's sad to know it. I remember him very well.
One of his favorite thing was, it's for God to be glorified, his people
Hmm.
to be edified, and the devil to be terrified.
Look at that. Look at
Gospel,
that.
man, I'm telling you, Lingo, he always started his program that way, and he always ended it
Hmm.
that way.
Hmm.
It's for God to be glorified, his people to be edified, and the devil to be terrified.
Hmm.
Lingo, just, to the entire gospel vibes fraternity, to um, Mrs. Lingo, um, to Energy Radio, to everyone whom I was graced and touched by Lingo. Awesome man, an awesome program that he had every Sunday. I was a part of the program for a couple of years. I used to do all of the news on
Hmm.
his program. He called me one day and said, "Lady D, I need your voice." And I used to get up every morning, 7 o'clock, 6:30, prepare the news, and my
Hmm.
slot was 7 o'clock on his show.
Hmm.
I would get up every morning and give all the news on his show. I did it for several years, and then I said, "Lingo, and I'm tired, I'm tired. I wake up and I have to search news for you." Oh my gosh. But anyway, see, Don says, "Bro, the Lingo from my city." Yeah,
Hmm.
Connecticut. Big up yourself, man. I'm telling you, it's a great man. So, just wanted to give a moment of just a quick moment of silence for my brother from another mother and father. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Lingo, we say, Lady D, there's work to be done. So let's get this work done. All right? Let's get this work done. Um, well, good morning. Good morning. Let's let each and every one. I'm my mind. So for all everyone on the panel, you want to say good morning to your listeners?
Good night, everyone.
I was just getting ready to say that.
So we
She just
hear
said
you.
her mind and then gonna say good
I told
Yeah,
you
morning.
my mind is not here. I told you. I'm just like
yes,
Mhm.
I've been absorbing this for a couple of days now. I'm just
yeah.
Yeah,
let's say good
yeah.
evening. Good evening to the
Good
listeners.
evening, everyone. Good evening. So nice to be
Evening.
here with you tonight.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
All right, let's dive in there. Let's dive in there. Well,
mhm.
greetings to all of my hosts on the panel. And well, we're going to talk about free speech. Is there such a thing of freedom of speech being taken away from us? Like what's going on with freedom of speech? Ooh, what about a boycott? Are you all ready to do some boycotts? And it's being called for Disney, the children's place. Are you all? What's your thoughts on that? Hanging. Are we
Mhm.
really going back in time and not going forward? Are we? Is this the make America great again?
Mhm.
What's going on in Mississippi? Let's talk about it. Anti boycotting. They're talking about boycotting, but then there's something going on that if we talk about or disagree with thoughts of Israel or any other place or any other situation it looks like right about now, are we could we go to jail? Can we really be locked up? Now for our views, including um man, I'm telling you. What about the pictures of the slaves being removed from exhibits? Are we really erasing history? Ooh, you got to think about that. I want to say big shouts to Senegal. What's going on over there? It's that a way to bring back um, living habitats around the world with what they're doing in Senegal? Can they really take our passports? If they say you cannot leave, can they really take your passport and ban you here for life? Something to think about. And what's going on in the children mind that a fourth grader can inflict such harm to a second grader? Yeah, we have some serious topics. And to lighten up the air a little bit is what would you do? What would you do if you gave your spouse your kidney and you found out way after you gave them that they cheated on you and they want a divorce? Would you want that kidney back? We want to talk
Mhm.
about that. We want a reason on that. But let's dive on in there. Where are we going to dive first?
L to the no.
We wanna- We want to leave that in the middle. We want to leave that one in the middle. The inspector, we have to leave that one in the middle. So I guess I'm gonna play clips, one and two clips today, and then we reason on those clips, and yeah, we go from there. How about that? Where you all want to start with some of the topics, reasoning topics that were submitted? Where you all want to
How
start with that?
how about the young man that was found hanging on campus on Delta campus um on the 15th of this month here. That's what was it, Monday?
Uh huh.
They're saying that it doesn't show where anyone tampered with him, and that more or less they're saying that it was self-inflicted. The same thing happened last year around the same time as this, where the same thing happened to another young man, and these kids are young, 21, and these family are saying these children were happy going to school, doing their work, doing what they needed to do, and here go bam, he's found hanging from a tree in Delta State University. Um, and they're again finding it um, um, normal, normal, and a young man hanging himself. Come on now, are we that stressed? Why are they hanging themselves? And this is not even the second one I'm hearing about in the past, say, 4 or 5 years. It's been a couple of them. So what's going on? I'm concerned.
But isn't it alleged that it's two individuals that was hung
It
in
was
this?
different time. It was different time. This one happened, but it was around the same month, the same time, around this month, September 15. Both of them happened around the same time. One this year,
Demarcation.
one last year. But this is just recent. This just happened Monday.
This is
Yeah,
Martavian Trey Reed.
yeah,
He
yes,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah,
attending
Yeah,
Delta
21.
State University in Cleveland, Mississippi.
yeah. He was, yeah, as you said, Queenie. He was 21 years old, and
Yeah,
police did say that there was no foul play. But
that's what
here's
they're
the thing:
saying.
how could someone hang themselves and they have broken bones?
Yeah, okay.
So
And he's so far
he's
up,
with broken
so far up
bones.
in the tree. How he got up there? I
Yeah,
mean,
with broken bones, how do you hang yourself? And how could you say there's no foul play? So now we know the police are in cahoots somehow. Allegedly, it looks like they may be in cahoots because, or
Yeah.
they know. I don't know if someone. So I don't even know, but it's definitely suspicious.
yeah. To
Mm.
me, it seemed like something like something that they're doing. What would you? I'm
You
trying to
mean
find the
cover up,
word I would
like
say.
a
Yeah,
cover up?
Yeah.
yeah, but not just cover up. But if this happened the same time last year, then is it a ritual? What is it? It makes you wonder
But what I would like to know is where's the cameras?
that too.
This is a
And he's
school.
on
On the
campus.
campus, yes,
This is a
definitely have.
Yeah.
school. This is happening at a university,
Hmm.
university campus. Where are all the cameras? Um, that would be the footages from those cameras. Where are they? Definitely to me it feels like a cover up, and I'm hoping that the parents do not let it go because your child.
Yeah.
You know your child.
They're seeking an independent autopsy
Yeah,
done on him. Yeah, they requested an independent autopsy done on him. So that I guess they're waiting for approval or what have you.
it's a sad thing that you send
And
your child to school. May it be elementary, university, high school, middle school, and you get that call.
Yeah.
mm,
And I just
mhm.
wanted to say it was two deaths, but there was one, they're a few hours away from each other. So it
Right.
was on the same day, Monday, September 15th. It was the gentleman you mentioned, the 21-year-old, and it
Yeah.
was a 36-year-old. His name was Corey Zukatis,
Yes.
and it was in Vicksburg, near Vicksburg Casino, and he also was found dead as well in
Right.
Mississippi, and they're only a few hours from each other
Right. And they're both
Mm.
happening in Mississippi.
on
That's
on the same day.
and on the
Look
same
at that. Look
because
at
that's what
that.
I was saying to Queen. There were two individuals.
Yeah,
But from what
okay.
I heard, I
Um,
didn't get to read on the full story on the other individual,
yeah.
Corey Zuckertis. And they both were showing hung. They both were hanged, and
Mhm.
they both were. It's alleged by their family member that they were vibrant individuals, full of life, looking forward
Mhm.
to life.
Yeah, and love life. Yeah.
Yeah, and they love life. I love life. Life loves me.
Exactly. And they're young, 21,
Yeah, very young.
26. 21 is young, just at the prime, about to probably graduate from college, or maybe he's doing his master's, and you have a 36-year-old. Um, how many hours
Mhm.
apart? Is it the same person? Is it a coordinated attack of a group, extremist group online? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
that's what I'm
what
saying,
is going on, and
And
why are you going back to this? Is what we would call lynching, right? So why are you going back? You're taking us back.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's why people, yeah, you would suspect that has something to do with a certain political group, because, right, a certain political group keeps pushing this rhetoric from back in the 60s and 70s,
mhm,
putting black people back, trying to strip rights from us,
mhm.
and now, and then you're promoting um a certain person that passed away, you're promoting his what he says it's okay. So now you have these people unaliving, right?
Yeah,
These,
Mhm.
broken bones is no way you're gonna hang yourself. So we don't know
Yeah.
what the cover up is and how big is it, right? That the police didn't even say no comment. They can say we're still investigating. They
yeah.
said no
Mhm.
foul play, and they didn't think that
Yeah.
we would find out that he has broken bones. So what is going
Mhm.
on here? What is the
What's going
story?
on? Well, I know Ben, the attorney there
Yeah, he's
involved
on it.
is
Mhm.
involved in this situation here.
And
So
the NA,
the
NAACP is also, yeah,
they
involved.
Definitely, they need to be.
it is reporting that they feel that it is a lynching, and they are not going with this narrative that it is that there's no foul play. There's foul play. So we're going to continue to watch this and see what comes out of it, if anything does. The respecter, you want to say something?
No,
Okay, I saw your thing
it's
off.
kind of too hurtful to think about and speak on this type
Mhm.
of stuff.
Yeah. Jai, you wanted to touch? Or you good?
No, I'm good. Everybody pretty much said what I would have said. It's a weird time to be alive.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
is. It is. It is. It's I really sit back and trying to wonder what's going on in this country. And you don't have, you can't speak about certain things. And I mean, like, persons that I'm seeing that is even being fired, getting fired from their jobs, or
Yeah.
not even saying anything in that negative. They're just describing whom the person was,
And you
or,
know what,
or
Lady D, before
portrayed
you
themselves.
touch into that,
Mhm,
before you continue with that, because I
mhm.
know this leading to another topic,
Yeah,
within the same topic, I just want to say also, remember that there were HBCUs, which are these are the historically black colleges and
colleges.
universities that are normally in the South, right?
Yeah,
Mississippi is in the
Mhm.
South. So these colleges are normally in the South, right? Where there was a lot of violence against black people. So I want to
Mhm.
say that in this month of September, you have these two deaths in Mississippi within hours of each other. Then remember, all the HEBCUs had to be locked down due
yeah,
to threats of
yeah.
violence.
I said,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
the same
yeah,
month with this. So this something is going on, something is brewing, and it's just something to keep our eye out, our ears out, and together in unity, because we have to be strong and we have to be able to be there for each other, be eyes and ears on the ground. I
Yeah.
wanted to just say that, and then
Yeah, and you know what? With you even saying that to MC, um, it's important for our youths when these things are taking place that they stick together, they come together,
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
walk in groups. Don't walk by
hello,
yourself. You know,
exactly.
night range for someone to wait for you. I mean, not even wait for you. I mean, just find a partner with someone in the same classes, in the same dorm.
Yes.
Things like that, and not even just for the universities, HBCU universities,
Hmm.
or just all colleges and just life at this point,
Yes.
because
Mhm,
with the way things are looking, it's I think that it's very, very important that we
mhm.
all come together, find a partner that you and them is in
Yes.
the same classes, find someone whom you and them work at the same job, especially
Hmm.
especially these night shifts,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, where you all can walk into the parking lot together, the ones whom are not necessarily working from home, you know, do a buddy system, get
Correct.
a buddy
I think that's
system
a great
going,
idea.
you know,
Definitely. That
yeah,
should just be a written rule. Like, this
yeah,
is what we're doing.
yeah.
This is how it goes. And that's it. The only way you're going to be walking alone is because you have a ride that's going to take you, as soon as you get out the building, is going to take you straight to your destination. If
Yeah,
that's not happening, then you must walk with two or three people. Something to that effect, as you're saying.
big up yourself, DJ VJ Smiles. He says, crank it.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah, we definitely cranking it. Smiles definitely cranking it. Yeah, it's coming up their anniversary too over there at YouTube's radio. So big, 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 massive
Yeah.
let's go out to you. Yeah,
And
so
a lot of this racist thing always go on in Mississippi. I mean, it's like, and there's so many blacks in Mississippi, but
Yes.
these things, these killing and these lynching and all that stuff, always be happening in Mississippi for some reason. Um,
South in general, because there was something going on the other day even in
yeah,
South Carolina. So I mean,
yeah,
I just think that at this point, with the way things are going and what the definition is starting to be about "Make America Great Again," I just feel
mm,
that we are to start melanated skin people are to start buddying up. You know,
yeah,
finding
yeah,
someone to walk with to the cars, making even it a system where we call. If you don't hear from me at a certain time, then really come looking for me or
Yeah.
send out the
mhm,
dogs to come look for me. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go
yes.
ahead, Michelle.
And I wanted to say, if you notice in the Jewish neighborhoods, right, they have their own policing. You have regular policing, and then they, as citizens, police their neighborhood. We need to start that. We need to have community policing.
Well,
We're in
you
our
know
black
what?
neighborhoods.
We talked about that, and then I'm gonna let Queen go. We
Yes.
talked about that couple of I think it was last year or year before last,
Hmm.
yeah,
about the same oh boy, neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Community policing. Yes.
And like in my neighborhood, we do have our own security.
Yes.
Our homeowners association, we pay for that, and so we do have security that go around in our neighborhood. But for those neighborhoods who don't have
Yeah.
associations and things, then yeah, you all need
And
to do
you'll
this.
be surprised, not even just the neighborhood, but in my building, the men look out for us women. Like, I have two neighbors, one here and one there. And let me tell you something. One day, I think one of my family members was trying to get to me and couldn't get me. I was in here sleeping, and he came banging on my door so hard. I said, "What you banging on my door for?" He said your family member can't get you. Miss Bertha called me and tell me to bang on the door because she wasn't home. So
Yeah,
it's good to have neighbors. Neighbors looking out for each other, because like I said, I'm in an apartment building and a senior apartment building, and we look out for each other,
Yeah,
especially the men in the building. Yeah.
yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. Looking out for each other is important, and
Very
Yeah.
important.
I can see in the South where you guys are, where you have that hospitality, say Southern hospitality, where you look out for each other and you're friendly. But when you're in the city, especially in New York,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you know, people already talk about Manhattan, where you could be doing anything, nobody pays you any mind, right? So
Hmm.
everybody keeps a stoic face and they're only in their own business. And plus, you have phones that makes it worse.
Yeah.
So we need to have more of that. We need to have more of, and I feel like there are places, there are people in the city, depends on your neighborhood, that do look out for each other. But yeah, we do need to more look out for it. Be like, oh, what
We
is
need to
happening
know
here?
our
Why are you
neighbors.
walking? Yeah, why are you walking by yourself? I know your brother lives over there. Where's your brother? Aren't you? Don't you two usually walk together? You know, not to really be too intrusive,
Let
but
me tell you
just
something.
show some.
In my daughter neighborhood, where my daughter lives, there's one of her neighbors. He just have a neighborhood neighbors cookout, and he
Mm,
invite the neighbors like it's right there in that circle of them, and they
right.
all get together like every other month, every 2 3 months. They would get together whether it's warm or cold. They have it inside or outdoors, and I think that's really really great, because honestly I was thinking about that the other day because I was doing my grandbaby's birthday in my yard, and one of my neighbors, no, I'm sorry, Labor Day. And one of my neighbors came up and she was like, "Girl, the music was so good. The food was we were smelling the food all over." I said, "I'm gonna invite myself." And I said, it's always an open door. And she came and she partied a little bit with us. And she was like, "You know what? I got to come up here and for us to just sit back and chit chat and have some wine, or you come to me and let's chit chat." Because I only really talked to like three neighbors.
Mm,
But, really, I'm thinking of doing that same neighbor cookout,
yeah.
or get to
That's
know
how it used to be. Yeah.
where
You bring a cake,
important.
you bring some
Where I
drinks.
used to live at before, me
Mm,
and my neighbors was like family. So where I'm
yeah.
at now, it's a get. We have to really get to know each other. It's not like where. Go ahead, Queen. You were saying something.
No, I was just saying that that's the way it used to be, and it was fun, and you get to know each other and what have you. You would drop in, remember when we used to do it, lady, in the early, you drop by each other. Lorna House was good for us to go and hang, get
No,
together.
well,
We
that's not
get
neighbor.
together,
That's not
you
neighbor.
know.
That's friends. That's friends getting together. When I'm talking about neighbor, I'm talking about who live right next door to you. Like how back in the days there used to be block parties. They
Okay.
used to block off the top of the road and the bottom of the road, which they do. They've had it several times in my subdivision. Not that I attended, but they had it several times in my subdivision, and it was really really cool. Don says we as a people refuse to come together. Most of us are still want to be individualistic. By the time we come to the realization that unity is strength, it just might be too late. And it's a sad statement, but it's so
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
It's so true. You know
Hmm.
what? And I don't mean to drag it on, but I'm gonna give you an example. There's a neighbor that she lives there, but the other one that she was renting the house, and she moved now. But this lady could have told you everyone that went up and down the street. So she came and knocked at my door and said, "Did you see this lady that lives right there?" And I said, "No." I said, "Listen, I don't be watching people's houses and watching people and stuff." And she's like, "Oh, because I saw when a car pulled in there, I didn't see her nor the car leave. I see the windows kind of crack. And it's been 2 days now that she hadn't came out." And then she was knocking everyone's door asking about
the lady. So one of the neighbors said she's so nosy. She there sitting there watching her camera, ain't got no time for nothing else. But you know what? The
Mm.
lady did leave and she went out of town, but she didn't see when she left, but her window was open, like someone may have tried to get in or whatever. But when she came back, she says no, that window don't close very good, and her friend was trying to close the window and just said, hey, that may have been because she had said she had heard some noise, so that may
Mm.
have been the noise that she heard, and then thought that this neighbor disappeared. So sometimes it's good when you have neighbors still looking out. Just don't do nothing in your
Some
neighborhood.
of them nosy, honey. I have some nosy one in my building. Lord of mercy.
But
I
it's
mean,
important because if you're sick or something happens to you,
Yeah.
um,
mm,
you can alert, call the police. There's nothing harm, no foul, right? They come, you're
yeah,
fine, that's great. But something wrong, you need some of them nosy neighbors at times, even though as
yeah.
annoying as it could be.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Um, so we've
You
touched
were
that.
talking about freedoms before I
Yeah,
had moved on. You're talking about how some people are losing their jobs because
yeah.
of what they want to say. You were saying
Well,
that.
based off of what they want to say, because with the individual that and we're not going to call any name,
Hello.
individual that um the situation happened to, there's some individuals that didn't even say anything. When I read and seeing a lot of what they're saying that these people were talking about, they weren't saying anything to me that was derogatory. You had some, yes, that were saying some derogatory things, but if someone says that, hey, oh, that's the life that they live, that's what they were praising, you know, bam, they lost their job because they said something as simple as that. So your thought is no longer, and I understand with freedom of speech, I understand the logic with freedom of speech comes with responsibility, you know, and I agree with that. But with the thought that I can say, boy, I don't know why she got her hair blue, and then someone throw yellow paint and I'm like, oh yeah, she needed that yellow paint on her, I'm gonna lose my job for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm.
I just think that this whole thing is really gone overboard. It's gone on another level
And
with
how about this, right?
uh
How about that when these group of people are so upset when people say things about their people and they don't like it, but on the flip
yeah,
side,
yeah,
they're the same people who will say derogatory and horrible things about other people. And they should be free to do that. And they feel like people are infringing on their freedoms when they talk about a different set of people. But if anybody talk about their people, then they're up in arms. They want to have violence. They want to remove them for their job, these different things.
yeah,
So what's
You
good
see,
for the
America,
camera,
America has a double standard. They
that's
have a double
exactly what's
standard.
happening.
Yeah,
The
they have a
double
double
standard.
standard, and even this individual that I looked at, where the show was canceled for now, and all of that on probation, whatever. This is an individual that always crack jokes like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not just to this one, but many I've seen it because I've been watching him over the years periodically. Once in a while, I'll watch him. And he's been doing this for years. And why is this individual so important that it's alleged that 47 had to, I mean, get involved in this
he didn't
man's
get involved.
job.
He didn't get involved. He made a statement. He just made
Yeah,
a
well, just
statement
getting
that
involved.
it said that he's off the air. The person who was making their comment that it's either it's going to be done by will or force. Basically,
Mhm.
what they're saying is the one of the members of the FCC. Um,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know, Brendan Carr, and I'm going to call his name because he's the one who made that statement, and
Mhm.
he didn't hide when he was making the statement. So yeah, Jimmy Kimmel just suggested that 47 supporters were
Mhm.
politicizing the situation that took place, you know,
Right. Mhm.
and after 47 is there glorifying the ballroom and everything like that, then he's going to say, "Oh, hey, I'm sad." So he was saying that's not depicting someone whom is sad when you lose a friend. That's not how you act or whatever. So that's where it comes with this freedom of speech. You don't just freedom, but it's not even just freedom of speech, it's freedom of thought. You're not
Mhm.
you're at the point now where you're not even able to to say something that is
So
not inciting violence onto another person. Now you can't even say that.
yeah, exactly. You're not saying something to threaten someone. You're just voicing your
Right.
opinion.
You
Our
just,
first amendment, right?
yeah,
Freedom of speech. And even I'm reading about if you heard about it, Governor Abbott in Texas is there's 100 plus Texas teachers that are going to lose their certification over their comments over that gentleman that passed.
Mhm.
I mean that's
Lose
crazy.
your certificate. You know how many years a teacher goes to school for bachelor's, gets your master's. I'm not sure of their
Yeah,
certification, but up here you take about five tests, 6 plus tests. You take like 6, 7 workshops, and you continue to improve your craft over the years. And you're gonna just pull somebody's livelihood after you work for because they said something. You
yeah.
see what's
Mhm.
happening? They have an agenda, and
I-
the agenda is
Control.
thank you.
This
So they're
this
not even gonna wait. They jump on it. Everything that they do is to jump on it so they can control.
Everything that is happening now, that's
It's
what it's
control.
based on. It's based
Yes.
on controlling the population, and
Yes.
that's what it is. With all these,
Exactly.
even these tariffs and all of these, it's still control.
yeah.
He want to have us right here in this box, in a
Yes.
little box,
That.
and he
Right?
dictates. And that's why some people
Or a
say, "Oh,
puppeteer.
it's alleged he's acting like a dictator." And I don't. I see a lot of signs of it too. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me tell you, he's like a puppet. You want to be a puppeteer. You do what I say when I tell you to do it.
And
And
You know?
that brings us back to Don comment as to we as the people, even not even just melanated skin people, but also Caucasians. What's when are we going to come together and say enough is enough?
no, that's
With
it.
what's going on with our rights. Yeah, we as a people and as in the melanated skin, we definitely need to come together.
Who?
We
Hello?
but
come
And
together.
then we're not just talking about people who are called black.
We
We're
just
not just
yeah,
talking about people who are called Latino.
melanated skin.
We're
We
talking
definitely
about
need to come together
across the board,
and
right?
realize that unity is strength. But
It is.
but here we goes now with all these other things that are occurring and taking place. When
Yeah.
are we going? Everyone needs to come together because I have two
Disastrous. This is
clips that
disastrous.
I have two clips that I'm going to touch.
can I say this first?
Sure, yes, you can. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, we've been saying these things a long time, and this is not going to happen. Where the we come together as a unit in total in this country, especially, um, and also what we discussed last week, and we all share our opinion on it. Kind of hope that we are left it right there because we are keeping it going, we're keeping it alive, and giving them exactly what they want: attention. This was a sacrifice, and it was an agenda to get us speaking about it negatively so they can have reasons to come after us. So I'm hoping that this is the last night that we even think about it.
But let me say this. I'm not addressing that individual. I'm addressing a topic that is very important: freedom of
Yeah.
speech.
Freedom of
You're
speech.
But
you're
it's
you're
Do we
right.
have
but
it?
Right.
but it
You're right to be able, as long as you're not inciting violence
Mhm.
but we're
or
not there because we don't have that power right now. We have power, but with
no,
that
we
power
don't.
doesn't mean nothing.
But you,
No,
yeah,
but it is
but,
a topic to be discussed. I
But
mean,
look what's happening.
what?
and I will. Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say, like you said, the respect of that. Which everybody's keep talking about unity, black unity, and people unity, and diverse unity, and let's get together. You know what? Here's the thing: it's not happening because we're isolated, somewhat coming together through certain leaders. Everybody's waiting for that Martin Luther King Jr. We're waiting for Malcolm X. We're waiting for Marcus Garvey. We're waiting for this savior to come that's always came and bring everybody together, and from that big huge leader were microcosms, so smaller ones who led under them to help bring us all together. And it's not happening, so somehow we need to, everybody is together in their small microcosm, or they're part of their world. If we could bring all of us together to one, to make one huge movement, that's what we need to do, because people are together, but they're together in these smaller groups. And to make a more huge impact, we need to get together in a larger group,
Well,
you know?
oh, we
And
we
that's the
refuse
issue.
to come together. Don said it already. There, we refuse to come together. So, and we can't agree on
Yeah,
anything because I think that some persons, like, let's say, even what the respect is saying, he just wants us to shut up and be quiet and just talk about other things, which other things is, yeah, we're going to talk about, we are going to talk about other things. We have been talking about other things.
Call from Baby D.
And we are
To
talking
accept,
about
press
other
1. To
things.
send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, caller.
Hi, good evening, all. It's Donna. How you doing?
Good evening, Donna. How you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm listening to your topic of conversation about Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we can hear you.
Um, yeah. So yeah. Based on people coming together, people can come together because they came together to pull off one of the biggest heists in history. And, they're military people who came together under the headquarters of the military, which is the Department of War. So people can come together. You get what I'm saying? It's just that, like,
I think
what's
they're
her name?
more. I think they're more addressing melanated skin, and that's what we were referring to.
Yeah,
Melanated
yeah,
skin persons whom we refuse to come together because, with all the atrocities that's going on, we're not. We're basically divided.
Yeah, we're not trusting. The people not trusting each
what
other.
I'm what I'm saying is that I don't really look at white and black, black and white. I look at us as the humans being a race. Okay, so when I say people, I'm speaking of black people, white people,
Okay.
okay, Chinese people, Indian people. So I'm saying we can come together
Hmm.
as humans because this is a war against humanity. But the thing is that, like, I've seen people come together because they all have something in common that they were seeking. So now you have, and that was, the money issue. So they came together for that. So people can come together.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not based on it's what you how you whatever your mind is programmed for. Okay. So
But
it's
there is so much mistrust, Donna. For example, look at it. About, I think it was last week or the week before, there was this guy. and he was on the different platform, and he was asking folks to not to purchase anything, for that week. You know what I mean? It was a Caucasian guy, and I heard a lot of these folks, were saying, "Oh, he a white guy. Let him go through it." So I mean, coming together, people are not trusting each other that they have the right motive and the right agenda, and
Mhm.
that's part of it.
A
So
lot of
us
people is for
coming
self,
together,
That's
yeah,
true.
because
and a lot of people is just for self.
yeah, that
If it's not
people are
benefiting
just
them
mm,
directly,
I
yeah,
they're really not
so
interested.
I beg to differ somewhat, and I kind of can lean a little bit towards what Donna's saying, and I hear what Queenie's saying and what Lady D's saying. So here it is. Yes, there is some distrust because we've trusted in certain leaders and they've let us go wrong, right? They let us wrong or they did not come through as we expected them to be. But as far as like with the Target boycott, all right, everybody might not have completely stopped, but there was a lot of people that did that they end up firing their CEO. They had to place another one. And
Yeah.
they did damage, a lot of damage to their profits. And even
mm,
there was a dent into Walmart's. There's a dent. It's not as heavy as Target, but there's a dent. So things are happening and we're not doing it. We are doing it pretty, I think pretty smoothly because that kind of came quick with Target. Everybody was kind of continuous. So we can come together, and if you tell us for what cause, we will. So
mm,
it just has to be continuous because right now, it's Target and it's like looming in the wind, and we're waiting for the next one where we should just be like, bam, this one done, bam, this one,
We,
bam,
we come
bam.
we come together, Michelle, for a hype.
Yeah,
When
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. It has to be
when the
continuous.
situation is all about a hype, some persons jump on it and then they get
Yeah.
off of the bandwagon, and then the hype is over. It's for a moment.
There
You
people,
know,
I'm so shocked that
they
family,
we boycott, we march for a moment, for a
yeah.
hype. When things are hot and the spotlight is on everything and everybody, then it's, oh yeah, we down for this. But then
yeah,
it trickles
follow
away.
through.
It trickles away.
I would
You
say a
know,
lot of
we have
people
to
it does,
be
but I
consistent.
think we're getting better.
We
I
have to
think
be
we're,
consistent,
I
like
think
the
we're getting
boycott
better.
with the bus, the bus boycotts back
Yeah,
in the
but that
days,
was a great leader, right?
etc. But
Mhm.
we that's the problem. We're so worried about a leader. Why don't we lead ourselves?
But that's why we're not as together
There
because with
is
that leader, it was
there is so
stronger.
many voices out there too. I think
There are,
there's
there
voices
are,
out there too. You Al Sharpton is still around. You
yeah.
know, Red
Yo, lady,
trying
don't
to
mention his name, please,
Oh,
please, please,
Red
please,
is trying to come
please,
in. You have other
please,
well,
lady, don't.
you have
oh
other
boy,
individuals. I'm gonna
like
mention
Jamal Bryant,
uh,
who did the lead on
Jamal Bryant.
the target,
We're
the
gonna
target.
we're going to we have individuals that are speaking up, maybe not in the capacity that MLK or
Malcolm
even
X,
Malcolm
Marcus
X and
Garvey.
Marcus Garvey, all of them, and then you know end up people turned on them. I mean, the same people that they were fighting for end up turning on them.
Black
So
Panther Party, right?
people are afraid, persons are afraid to be any leader. So I mean, like Don
Yeah.
says, when push come to shove, it will be every group for themselves. And I had to
Yeah,
say it just like that, Don, because I'm feeling that statement. When push
mhm.
come to shove, it will be every group for themselves.
But do you hear that saying? There's that saying that goes, it affected this group and I didn't do anything, right? It affected another group and I didn't do anything. It affected another group and I didn't do anything.
And
And
nothing
when
is
it
still
came
not
back,
going to be
when it
done.
came down to my group, there was nobody around to help me.
But what is true about that is the group thing. You gotta remember, every race, you have a lot of whites who are on the blacks and people of color and so on and so forth. They're not considered racist. They're out there with us, and the small percentage of us who are on the other side against their own. It's all races of people who have a little bit of the other race supporting them. So the group thing is not gonna be blacks and Latinos and so on and so forth. It's gonna be a mixture of people in those groups.
Okay. Well, still
Yeah,
stands for those
that's
groups.
true.
Whatever group it is, that's the group that's gonna
Yeah,
stick together.
yeah.
So
We just
Well,
if
we're
it's
gonna
a
leave
bunch
it
of
off, right?
Pentecostal folks, they gonna stick together. If it's a bunch of Seventh Day Adventists, they gonna stick. That group is gonna be the one to stick together. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna play this recording here, and this is something that was sent in. And yeah, take a listen to what this young lady is saying. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait, now I don't know. I have to research this one, and then I could give a logical answer to this tape that has came in. Okay, here we go. The way they just want to lock us all up for no damn reason at all. Did you know that Congress is voting on, let me make sure I'm getting this right, HR 867, Anti-Boycotting Act, which pretty much they can take your passport, they can give you up to 20 years in jail and millions in fines if you boycott brands that support Israel or if you say something bad against Israel. I thought we was a country that had freedom of speech. Like, ain't that like in the amendments and whatnot? What the fuck is going on in America? Is it not our right to boycott? We can't boycott companies that we don't support. We can go to prison for boycotting companies that we don't want to shop at. Do y'all hear how this does not sound like a democracy at all? Sounds more like a dictatorship. You can't even have your own mind now. You can't even choose who you want to spend your hard-earned dollars with because you can be fined for it. Now, what was I didn't get an opportunity. I didn't get an opportunity to research HRA 67.
Yeah, that's by Marco Rubio. He's putting that forth to strip us of our U.S. passport, possibly our citizenship, if you speak against Israel.
Wow.
Yeah,
control, control, control.
Wow.
I tell you, let me tell you something. This country it makes
Wow.
you go, and wow, lady, wow.
I have to really
I,
research and listeners, research HRA 67. Don't take what we give you the information as we get it. You all do your own research on these things.
I think that's
HRA
impossible.
67.
yeah.
I think
And,
that
and
they should actually do that.
Because I'm saying, when you were born here, how are they gonna take the passport? Come
so
on
yeah,
here.
I
They're gonna
sent
take your birth certificate.
So you can't
yeah,
leave.
I
It's
said I
I
put
can
it in the
see it
chat
being the
from
same
Marco
thing.
Rubio.
I can see it being the same thing as you being like a repetitive offender of something of some sort. So let's just use a DUI for example. The first offense, what, you're going to get jail time because of course they're going to lock you up. You got to see a judge, you might get probation, community service. Second offense, you might have to do a little bit more jail time. Now they're suspending your license for a year. The third time, you're never driving. They're not giving that back. So I get what you're saying, that they're citizens, but if they can take it. Let's just be realistic here. If they really want to take it, they can take it.
And be realistic. Don't that sound like Hitler's time?
And you
Don't it sound
cannot
like what was going
travel.
on during Hitler time?
You won't be able to travel. Do you all hear that?
Yeah, you
Mm,
just think about it. Felons already can't get a passport. So it's honestly a luxury if you really want to look at it.
Is
yeah.
If you have a felony, you cannot get a passport. So them revoking it, I can see that happening if they wanted to.
Mm.
Mm.
The
It's all about how it's
second.
written.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, they it says that we just read. Okay, so recent legislation did aim to grant Rubio, our Secretary of State, right, a new
Mm.
authority regarding passports, but that measure failed. The bill was introduced in September, so there's a lot happening in September, huh? A lot happening in September, right? Back to back to back.
Ah,
But
Mhm.
they said civil liberties advocates widely criticize the proposal. So it is something we can continue to discuss.
This is the
But
second.
but
This
it
is
was
the second
removed.
video. This is the second video in regards to the same passport.
Yeah. They said the House of Foreign Affairs Committee formally killed the proposal on September 18th, 2025.
Give me a minute. This is another one in regards to, and that is the Rubio to strip U.S. citizen passport over speech. So here it is. Oops.
when I had the thought, what if we want? I think it was only about a month into Trump's second term when I had the thought, what if we wanted to leave, but they wouldn't allow us to? So when I came across this, it was a little unsettling. There's a bill that's been introduced by Republican Brian Mast out of Florida because Florida that comes up for a hearing on Wednesday. Bear with me as I read this because I don't want to get it wrong. Grants the Secretary of State the power to revoke or refuse to issue passports for people who have been convicted or merely charged of material support for terrorism.
The Democrat Party is an extremist organization exclusively dedicated to protecting terrorists, criminals, gangbangers, and murderers. The other section sidesteps the legal process entirely. There's a pattern in this administration. The ACLU says this isn't necessary because if someone is convicted of supporting terrorism, they're not traveling anywhere except to prison. What this bill does is take away due process. Now, the bill does contain a clause where you can appeal. Of course, odds would not exactly be in your favor. You'd be appealing to the one who either refused your passport application or took it away. So, good luck with that. You might be thinking, why would they not want us to leave? Because the cruelty is the point. It would be quite the power play. This story broke 2 days ago. I have not heard anybody talk about it. Have you? I did not know. We've had a lot going on the last few days. I'm not going to live in fear over this, but it's unsettling. It just feels like we are pawns in this fucked up political Dungeons and Dragons kind of game where
Excuse the
these
French.
men who are not the least bit normal, like very weird, creepy, are playing with us. All that being said, if you do not have a passport, I would encourage you to get one soon. It can take a few weeks. There's no telling what they're going to do to that whole process.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and this one is, listen, if you have parents or you that comes from another country, I think maybe this time that you need to get your dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
It's
know someone who did it already.
Yeah.
yeah, it's and we've been preaching that for some time based off of the Handmaid's Tale and a lot of those other things.
Mhm.
Um, you know, no, we're not making ourselves afraid of anything, but
Just
one,
being prepared.
it's being prepared
Yeah.
because a
There.
lot of these things that are being played out directly in our faces. These
Mhm.
things are being done in our faces with no apology whatsoever.
Yeah,
Okay. They
exactly.
are unapologetic about anything that they are doing. I just,
I'm
I,
hearing this. Y'all, if you don't have a passport, go and get a passport.
and that's
Hearing this.
sad. Yeah. It's,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
it's,
agree. So let me tell you, that's the thing. I remember my children, they had their passport, right? And I was on my mom and I was like, you have to get it, you have to get it. And my thing was not even that they would take it away, but because the president 47 keeps defunding all our agencies and making them less functional. So I'm like, if I wait for him, I might go and I might not, who knows if I get it or they might lose it or something because they don't have enough people. So I said, let me make sure I get it as soon as I can, you know,
Mm.
because I was afraid of it would even it wouldn't be it wouldn't
Well,
work.
I encourage. I've encouraged all of my children. I've encouraged them to get for their children
The
Yes, our
grandchildren,
get
students,
even,
yes,
full citizenship. Not even
yeah.
just get the American passport, because
Yeah.
yes.
you have this American passport, and they said if you are American, you cannot leave this place. Hey,
And also, my other half, my Jamaican half, will be leaving. See ya.
say
Okay.
I, I was, I
You
was
don't like the American half, the Jamaican half is leaving.
man, I'm telling you, these are some serious things that's going on, though. It's
Yes.
really,
It's true.
really
And you know what I want to say too is what's scary about it, right? Let's be realistic, okay? There, so first thing that was nerve-wracking to me, and people kept talking about it, that there's these professors who study fascism and how it starts. And they were some of the first ones to leave when 47 became president. I think they're living in Canada right now.
Canada, a lot of them. Yes, I was
So these
watching something
professors,
on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they know the law. They know how things began. That means if they left, they didn't even fight to see if they can help. At this point, they felt like there was no hope, and they're gone.
we're the
So,
only ones in denial.
so
We're the
exactly.
only
So
ones.
what happens to us? And
Mm.
even if we want to go, where would we go? And even if we chose the place to go, how will we make money when we get there?
Go
You
find
know,
those, go
how
find
is the
those
plan?
African roots. Go look for those African roots,
And
and
it's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
wherever
And
country
then,
you're from, go find those roots. Start doing it from now. Let me tell you something. I'm
yeah.
speeding up on completing my where I want to my house that I want to live in Jamaica. I'm
Okay.
speeding that process up because you know what? I don't know what is going on, but whatever's going on, I'm not.
Yeah, you better make sure don't speed up and forget my room.
You
I
know, I was watching a program. I was watching a program earlier today, and the Jamaican woman, she's married to the guy from France, and they were here living in the U.S. They lived in France for 1 year, and they were living here in the U.S. for about 15 or so years. She went back home to Jamaica and took him with her, and honey, they loving it. They said there's nothing like Jamaica.
well,
So,
everyone says that about their country, but
Yeah.
honey,
let's move
but
on.
she's Jamaican. Look, I'm just saying, I'm gearing up to go there, so you stay there.
Yes, well, I'm beside you, so honey, check.
Yeah.
There too. So, what would you do? What would you do? There was a question that came in that what would you do if well, there is a gentleman. Okay, we're gonna call him a gentleman. There is a man out there that he loved his wife so much and she was sick and her kidney was failing and he says, I want to save my wife. And he went and he gave his wife one of his kidneys. Well, this wife decided to cheat on her husband. Wasn't she, it says here Richard Batasta, a New York surgeon, he donated a kidney to his wife, Darnell, in 2001 to save her life after her renal failure. When Darnell filed for divorce in 2005, Batista demanded the kidneys be returned or $1.5 million, citing emotional distress and alleged infidelity. What would you do?
First thing, you should have never married to her with a name Darnell. That was a big red flag.
Oh Lord.
Why
just
was it a big
just the name, huh?
That name is designed just for a man.
Oh Lord. You know, so
Donna, I'm gonna have to cut you off. You're having a lot of static in your background there, Mama.
so the first thing, right? If we're just talking, just mincing words, or just saying something, you'd be like, "I want it back," right? Or you have to pay me because you can't pay for that organ; it's priceless. But I want you to feel what I'm feeling, and you're gonna have to give me money. I'm not giving you money. You're gonna have to give me money every year, even if I marry somebody else for the rest of my life. You'd want to make them feel dread. But
But that's
ultimately, I would really be like, you know what? I did it. I felt led to do it, and I saved your life. And you know what? God is going to protect me. So woe unto them when they take such a God-given gift of life and you turn on the people like a dog. God help you.
but why? I'm gonna address that. Why is it turning on the people like a dog? If you and someone is in a relationship and you know 2001 things may have been great, you all were loving each other, everything was wonderful, but obviously she filed divorce for a reason. Maybe who knows what that reason may be, and she found somebody else, or he wasn't paying her attention, wasn't making her feel loved, was abusive verbally, maybe emotionally. We don't know what took place in that time. And he sounds like a pretty selfish character to want to come and ask for his kidney back when you know I mean, like,
Out of anger, I'm sure that's what he was
I was
feeling.
just gonna say that
Nah,
he was hurt,
Out of hurt. But originally, eventually you'd want the person to keep it because, at that time I did
this
it
is
out of love.
this man don't want the person to keep it. This man
nah.
he wants
Lady,
No,
union.
I'm with him on this one.
Go
You
ahead.
better go start looking up the black market for all the people who got to kidnap the people to cut the kidney out to put it on them. I want all that money.
I
If
tell you,
you
don't mess
can't give
with
me the
Jai.
money, give me the kidney back. If you can't give me the kidney back, we have a problem, Houston, because now I can't drink away my sorrows from you cheating on me
Oh Lord.
and I need a drink. So you're gonna pay. I don't even want what you would pay America for the kidney. I want what they gonna everything they gotta go through on the black market to get one. That's what I want from you.
on top of
Oh
that,
Lord.
on top of that is
Don't mess with Jai, I'm telling you.
No, I want
uh,
it all because now I can't go have my rum and coke and cry.
on top of that,
You gotta pay for that. I did something out of the kindness of my heart. I said, okay, I'm gonna put down the wine and I'm gonna save my husband's life. And
Yeah.
you go meet up with Susie? You're right. I
on
want
top of
all
Yeah.
that,
that back.
on top of that, she showed no class.
Yeah, nah, that was
Yeah.
She
classless.
showed,
And
she
I gave
showed,
you my
she
kidney,
she showed
put
no
my
kind
life
of.
on the line. I want it
Mhm.
all back.
There was a comment says, just imagine the next man shifting her kidney. I mean, your kidney.
You see, and then you made me a
Oh
mockery.
no.
You made me a mockery to my family.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for that.
You have a couple of comments says, run my kidney back. My
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh God,
People
that's
take these type of things for a joke. It's really not a joke
It's
it's
not.
not.
because
yeah.
the
But
fact
that's
is,
something that
see,
you have
the
to
the fact
go
is,
on Darespecta. Mm.
the
She
fact is, she
kidnapped
have.
my kidney under false
Wait
Can
pretenses.
you
a
not hear me?
wait a minute, Michelle. Go ahead, the respecter.
Like that.
The fact is, as a wife
Mhm,
and going through almost death, and the
mhm,
man you're married to chose to try and save your life, and you can turn around and forgot about where you were
mhm,
and what he have done, and do something like that. There's no shame. There's no decency. There's no respect for that man.
mhm.
And it's a lot of situations like that in
What
this. In
I'm
this,
saying is this that you
Wait
have to
a
have.
minute, Queen. Let
Oh, I thought you
Bishop to
were
finish his
saying
thought and then
no,
you.
she can go ahead. She can go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead,
I
Queen.
thought you were saying. No, all I'm saying is that this when you giving somebody a kidney, you have to have a really serious talk with that individual. He's not just gonna just throw your kidney away like that. So therefore, she should have known, or he should have known, what type of person he or she was dealing with. I could see if maybe it's a couple of years down the line, but if it's a recent thing, even a year or two, then something was wrong from the beginning, and he shouldn't let the kidney go like that.
Yeah.
Nah, this is a for
That's
life
true.
thing. Ain't no way I'm giving you a kidney and then 5 years later you gonna cheat on me. No, until death do us part, love, or run me my funds, or we gonna have a problem. Simple.
But it's just the proof that no matter what is, if someone is just not happy in a relationship,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
they decide
Mhm.
to move
That's
on.
true.
Not whether it's a kidney, whether it's a leg, whether it's whatever. We
Yeah.
have to, if we're going to do something at this point,
It shows how unhappy she was.
you got to just
Yes.
say, you
From
just,
the heart.
you know,
Mm.
just
Yeah.
let karma, whatever is to come back to her will come back to her. If she,
Yeah, all jokes and games and fun
yeah,
and games,
Yeah.
but
if
in
she really,
reality, you see
yeah,
how that she had to be really unhappy for somebody to
yeah,
extend themselves like that to her, and she cheats
yeah.
on him. We
Yeah.
don't know
Mm.
what was happening in that
We don't
house,
know what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for him to give it could have been like a last resort, maybe to say that he does is still.
right?
Yeah. And you never know. You just never, we don't know what the situation, and yeah, and I know we joke about it, and sometimes you have to make light of certain situations.
It's
Uh,
true.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but we always come back to being serious,
Mhm.
and the bottom line is no one knows what she was going through, and maybe he feels that, hey, I give you my kidney, you owe me for life. And that,
Mhm.
and maybe she was saying to herself, okay,
Mhm.
I'm done. I'm done being unhappy. I'm done being abused, or I'm done being neglected. Who knows? Maybe he could have been the best person in the world,
Or he could have been cheating.
or
It
he
could
could
be,
have been cheating, because
or even
this is
he
a
keep
one side,
making her feel
this is a
guilty.
one
You know,
sided story.
some people do that. When they give you something, they make you feel like you hold them something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
World.
All that could have been going on.
It's something
Yeah.
as big as a kidney, you feel like, hey, I gave you my kidney now.
Mhm.
You better
You better listen. You better get me some food when I say so. Get me some drink when I.
Yeah, jump.
yeah.
Mhm.
How high?
I'm like, I'm just like, okay, you
Yeah.
know, we don't, until I is this is a one-sided story, so we don't know the full story on both side of how it is.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, if it's a learning lesson, that if you're going to give something, you give it and not look for anything. Whatever
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yep.
situation,
That
however
is so true.
however the situation ends up, it is what it is. If we can work it out, let's work it out. So
Anyone who may be
I don't think,
listening and going through that type of situation, before they go ahead and do it, they should do it, put that person through a lie detector test. Have you ever cheated on me?
Oh my gosh.
You're not playing. The respect you're not playing, man. You're not playing.
okay, well, yeah, if you, well, I think, yeah, and maybe, sometime when you do these things, they put you through rigorous counseling. I know someone who gave up their kidney to someone else, and to save that individual life, and they put them through rigorous counseling. So I don't know what type of counseling they may have gotten, but
Hmm.
um, maybe in the future, if a husband is going to give a wife their kidney, or a wife going to give a husband or a child,
Hmm.
maybe that may be one of the questions that need to be discussed. Suppose we don't see it, and we don't want to ever think that we're not going to be together or whatever, but suppose we fall out of love, suppose you cheat on me, suppose, you know can you deal with me walking around with your kidney being with someone else?
Right.
you know I mean, I think that those are questions that need to be discussed before you go get your kidney removed out your body and give it to someone else that
Exactly.
it's not going to be necessarily.
Yeah.
Sometimes people
All
don't.
jokes aside, and not laughing anymore with my extreme response. It was all a joke. Um, but yeah, I feel like anybody's donating anything, it just has to come from a place of unconditional love. You can't really put a stamp on that, you know?
So true.
It's either you are willing to do whatever they need to save their life or you just don't do it, you know? I don't think it should come with stipulations either. It's either you're going to come from a place of unconditional love or you're just not comfortable with it and you shouldn't do it.
mm,
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it, because none of us can predict the future. None
that's
of us
it.
know what is going to happen in the future. Hey, so if you have a child that you gave your kidney to, and that child just be so disrespectful, I feel my life, me no want to do this, allow me, left me alone, me not love you, me not like you. You
Mm.
want your kidney back from your child too? I mean, just it's a sticky one. It's a sticky one. But most of the persons in the comment is saying, "Run back the kidney."
Mm,
Why
But
they want their kidney back? They said, "Let your next man go do surgery." But hell, how do you? If she even says, "Okay, let me give you your kidney back," can you really get back that kidney and it work?
no.
Mm.
mm,
I
But
mean,
all joke aside, that
mm.
kidney coming from a man going into a woman, maybe that kidney turned that woman into that man. Maybe that man was cheating on that woman,
Oh, Lord.
and
here
now
we go.
that kidney made her start to act like him.
You know
And
what's
that's
funny? You said that. I've heard that when people get the get organs from other people, there's articles about it that there's some traits or characteristics that was in that person, um, in the person that's the recipient of that organ. And you think
Transmitted
about it, it's
then.
like the
Mm,
DNA. It's just DNA still on that, you know?
Yeah, I read an article like that too
mm,
Yeah.
before. It was a gentleman, he lost his daughter
Mhm.
and
mm.
donated her. She was an organ donor and they gave her heart to this man. And so to another man. And every year he does like, um, I don't know what it's called, cycling, like bicycling,
Mhm.
but for like
Yeah.
200 miles.
Oh wow.
So every year around the anniversary of his daughter's passing, he would do the 200-mile stretch biking
Okay.
and meet the guy and listen to the heartbeat because it's the same rhythm before she passed.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. And it's literally the same rhythm. So the guy meets him and literally that's his daughter's heart. He gets to hear it beating, you know? So that's
Whoa.
why I say
What
it
a
just has to be
connection.
from a place of unconditional love, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Hmm.
It has to. You can't.
Yeah, that's why some of these ladies, when I hear them talk about donating their organs and what have you, organ donor.
Run, remember 1.5 million. Juliet says, lady, you keep confusing me. Everything you start to talk, you first sound like Blossom, then like you. If you're giving something like a kidney, give it from the heart, then no matter what. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
and she says, you'll never regret it. Love you all. Blessings.
We love you too.
Yeah.
True
Yes.
though.
That's great advice.
That's true. You have to be, even like I said, even as an organ donor, because people are organ donors, they have it on their license. And even that, you have to really consider that. I guess some folks say when I die it doesn't matter, but it's still, you know what I mean? It's something you have to really, really think about.
Yeah, it's something you really think about.
But still don't put it on your license.
Don't put it on your
Right, because I
Oh
heard
yeah, I agree with that.
don't put
uh,
it on your license.
Not on the license. I agree.
mm,
I don't have it on my license. I
I
just
don't either.
no.
mm-mm.
are we touching the nose tonight?
We're touching the who tonight?
The nose.
That's
What's the no?
exact. That's what I want to know.
See, I
Your
tell you
your
this.
your prime minister.
But
Oh,
Oh,
you can touch it. You have
you
something
want
to
to
take
take-
No,
out.
I thought Queen had something.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm on this food thing. I'm on all these artificial things they're growing. That's what I'm on. I
Oh,
put him on pause for this week. I,
they said
okay.
they said election done. Who don't need
yeah, I put him on pause.
to
Oh, he got sworn in, yesterday. It was yesterday he got sworn in.
got
Mm,
sworn in,
Mhm.
With
and
a
yeah,
whole bunch of lies.
all the family,
yeah.
Oh boy.
everyone was there, and he
Hmm.
picked his cabinet. Uh,
Yeah,
you
all of the green, all the
So
greens.
yeah, we could get down with the cap
Next week,
of that. Because
next week.
we weren't really a lot on 47, so we dived into him this week. So
Okay.
next week we'll dive into um I guess third termer. I
Okay.
guess
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
because there's still a lot going on down there.
and
But I really, lady, I would really love to touch this food thing that's going on. And
yeah,
and
we're
and
gonna touch it in 1 minute. Um
yeah.
Charles County Public School, second grader, a 4 year old, a fourth grader hung a second grader in the school's bathroom, and he's saying what was said was that the fourth grader said to the second grader that he's going to show how they used to do people back in the days. So he hung him from his jacket on a bracket, and he has contusions and all of that on his neck. Um,
Mhm.
thank God that he survived. It's
Yes.
young second. He's 7 year olds. I have a 7 year old. I have two 7 year old grandchildren.
Whew.
I can't even fathom what the parents nor the grandparents or family members is going through to think that um, such an atrocity can happen. I didn't see in the article that they based any race, but according to a lot of the comments and things, um, it appears that it's alleged. I think that it may
I
be.
think I think the second grader was African American.
Yeah, the second grader was definitely African American, but they're not given the race for
First
the
grader.
fourth grader.
But
Um,
but even so, it's influence. It's something he have seen, or because how old you said the other child was?
the little baby was 7 years old. They
The
didn't disclose the age of the four of
of
the
the other one.
Fourth grader, but he would be the fourth grader is like about 9 years old.
yeah,
9 or so. But these are things that these children are exposed to and
Yeah.
it's not being explained to them. You
yeah,
see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They
Yeah.
see all these things on TV or the media or what have you, and they're not being sit down and explained to them what
How
these things
serious.
mean. You know what I mean? So these children are mimicking. They're mimicking what they see and thinking that it's something that is good, when it is not. In terms of, I'm talking about if it is another black on black. But if it's another type of child, then I would say that it's what you've heard or maybe
Yes.
even
So
seen.
where were the supervision?
Yeah.
That too.
That too in the bathroom, like if they're taking a longer time. And you
That
know what
too.
else too? The respect I'm thinking too, and I'm Queenie. I was saying to myself, right? Like this child, when this first of all, I wanted to say the school itself to add salt to injury, the school is saying they just giving it off that it's horseplay.
What?
When is it horseplay
That's
when you have
crazy.
a jacket
yeah.
around a child's neck hanging? That's not horseplay is maybe you maybe hit them with the jacket and then they get maybe a cut in their face from the zipper. You
They
know,
should
Yeah.
get fired.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
horseplay, that's horseplay.
The ones who say
Uh-huh.
that should get fired.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they did say. The respect to that. It was a horseplay. They were horse.
The hell?
yeah,
The parents had some concerns,
yeah.
well, serious concerns, because they're saying it wasn't horseplay either. And
Mhm.
where are the tapes? Because there are supposed to be cameras positioned
Yeah.
to the bathroom to tell how long they were in the bathroom for. And
Yeah,
then on top of it, the statement that was made. Unless they're taking that statement as being they're playing and he didn't mean no harm, is he's going to show how they used to do people back in the days.
yeah.
So
Mm.
because of that, they felt like the fourth grader was playing. But why was the fourth grader in the bathroom at the same time as the second?
That,
Exactly.
that
That's
that's the
true.
same thing the parents ask exactly.
Yeah, yeah. No, let me read these comments real quick and then we could continue because I see comments here. Um, Juliet says, never put it on. Oh, let me put that up there. Juliet says, never put it on your license because they won't do everything to save your life because they can get your parts.
Mm.
Donna says, it's time travelers. Juliet says, a young man was hang on a tree in Mississippi either last week or earlier this week. You missed that reason, and we reasoned
Yeah.
on that one already. You
In
joined
the
late.
beginning. Yeah,
Gillette asks, "Did he die?" No, the young man, the second grader, the 7 year old did not pass away. That's why we're ecstatic that
yeah.
whomever found
Telling
him,
the
found
gospel.
him in time, and
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
a good thing. That yeah, he's still here on the land of the living.
yeah.
So yeah,
With this trauma,
yeah,
you know, definitely is going to be need some counseling.
yes, he's going because that's a scary thing.
Yeah,
Imagine
Yeah.
that happening. Yeah, that's a
And,
and,
and
and
until it
his
leaves, even he must have been there for a while, because if it's showing, if his neck is showing abrasion,
yeah,
then that means he was hanging for a while, or he was pushing, and while he was hanging there,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I mean, it's sad.
yeah, and not even just the child, right? Having trauma, the parents, because
Mm.
that's something you would never expect. You know, people always worried about bullying, like, or if my child's going to get beat up in school, right?
yeah,
You don't, you don't think that someone's going to hang your child. These children, these days, I don't know how they're coming up with new ways of how to harm harm each other. These dangerous new ways. You know, I don't remember us ever thinking about hanging each other by a jacket. Like, where did that come from?
yeah,
You know, how do you think? Oh, I see a jacket. Let me see if I can hang you. Like, who? Like, kids usually hit each other with their jackets. I've never seen. You know, I don't know. Maybe someone in the comments, audience, or panel. I have never heard of hanging somebody by the jacket.
yeah.
That
It's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
It's
I've seen shows where they would pick him up by the jacket and hang him on a peg or something of that nature. I've
okay.
seen that in shows, where
Okay.
the bad guy would pick up the good guy, the guy thereafter, and hang him up on the peg, with his jacket still on. But like I said, these children mimic what they see, and people are not monitoring now what their children watches. They just put them on front of the TV, or just to calm them down, and without supervision. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what you were saying, Queenie? Back in the day,
Yeah.
it was easier to put your child in front of a television, right? To
Mhm.
watch
Um,
because you what did they have? Disney, Nickelodeon, that silliness,
yeah.
funniness.
Yeah. It
That's
was more control.
now
You see, the
when
the contents were more controlled then.
yes,
Now
but
it's
now the
anything.
children have access to YouTube. These kids, when I ask them what's their favorite show, they're telling me something on YouTube, like social media influencers. They're not telling me anything on TV. They're hardly watching the TV and Disney
YouTube,
other shows.
TikTok.
They're watching
Hmm.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
you too is enough.
YouTube is giving everything.
Yeah.
You don't know what your child could be learning how to develop a bomb. Your child could be learning how to make chemical reactions. Your child could be
Mm,
learning so many different things online, how to attack people, how to you remember someone they were with the Kias that all these Kias became stolen because someone showed people how to hotwire a Kia. So people were stealing Kias left and right a couple of years ago. So they can learn
mhm,
anything online.
Yeah. Preschool with gifted hands says true. Donna says it came from time travel. And
mm.
preschool with gifted hands says that's actually what is going on. All for
Yeah,
your statements, MC. Yeah.
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 It's
A
just
lot of stuff.
Yes,
Ooh,
a
it
lot
is.
of stuff, a lot of things
a
going on.
lot of stuff to make you go, ah.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. It
Yeah.
really would. It really would. You
Mhm.
know, and
Yeah.
things. And the thing is that it sound the people look innocent. They look kind of sweet at first, but then you're passing by and you hear something like, What is that you're watching?" And go back.
Mm,
Oh no, shut it off right now.
Yeah.
You know.
mhm,
Out of these gadgets, I'm hoping that the parents are monitoring what's
Yes.
going on with their child using these gadgets, because we know that social media, and we know that's the in thing, the all of these tablets and going on social media. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping that a lot of parents are using the parental
Watch out.
um,
Yeah. But
app,
you know what? Like,
apps. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like
It
I want to
says
say,
we have to pray for our children and youth.
yes,
Definitely.
we
Definitely.
do. Pray
Yeah.
for our children so they can discern the right thing and what to watch, and pray for our parents that they're alert in their minds that something is up with their children, what they're watching, and
Yeah.
they'll tune in. You
Yeah.
know?
So we definitely want to see what's going to happen and what's the outcome for
Yes.
this for the second grader and this fourth grader. What steps the parents are going to be taking, and what steps the schools are
mhm.
are going to be taken to change some of the policies and what they're doing, making sure that when these children are going to the bathroom, someone goes with them at this point.
Or you know what? Or
You
some
know,
schools have someone sit outside, the aide, like an aide sit on the chair
yeah. And
outside.
maybe some of these classes can have aides, the one who don't have.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that there a lot of things happen in the bathroom. We all know that when we were younger, you
Hmm.
know, fights break
Mm,
out in the bathroom, all sorts of stuff. So with all of that knowledge, I'm hoping that changes be made. You
Yeah.
know, changes be made.
I
And
remember what happened. We talked about it, I think it was last week or the week before, with the group of girls who wanted to kill or unalive, as I said, unalive that young boy. I
yeah,
forgot what grade they were, remember?
school, yeah.
It
So
was a group of them like friends. They were gonna help her because she hurt she hurt him.
yeah,
She cheated on him. And they were like, I
we
think
have to talk to our children. We
yeah,
definitely
fifth
need to
graders and below, you
talk
know?
to our children. We have to talk to our children. Preschool with gifted hand says we have to pray for our children and youth. We sure do. When they leave your house, you know
Constantly.
you have to cover them, because I'm telling you,
mhm.
and educate them about these platforms. Uh,
Yes.
Yeah,
Also saying the school also exposes children to certain things. She
Mm,
says it's all about not having enough teachers, and not enough parents are involved in watching televisions with their children, interacting with them. Yeah,
yeah.
these
because
are many good
That's what
points.
I was saying. Hmm.
points,
Hmm.
really good points.
Yeah.
Monitor what they
Parents,
watch.
a lot of parents now are so busy. They when
Mhm.
they come from work, they have to immediately start helping with homework, start cooking supper. I
Yeah.
mean, not that that is an excuse um for I'm making,
Plausible reasons.
but
Yeah.
those are some of the things. But if you're going to have your children to participate with these social these gadgets and these social media outlets, then you have to pay attention.
That's it.
You have to pay
Bottom line. Mhm.
attention. My daughter has one with her daughter on the tablet,
but she has all of these parental um um parental coverage that's on there. And on top of it, she set boundaries. When if you're not in the room with me, we're not going to watch it. Pack it up. It's time limits on everything in regards to the social media, which I love that. When I go and I'm like, well, she can't make you watch that for a little. She says, no, mom. Okay. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Can
saying?
you
But
Yeah.
go ahead, the respecter.
can you imagine what a single mother goes through that have two or more kids, that works
Yeah.
a full time job
Yeah.
and gotta
Mhm.
travel,
Not an
fight through
easy
traffic and all
thing.
that? Go to pick them up at daycare and all, and it's not easy.
It's
No,
not.
Not
it's
an easy thing. A
it's
lot
not.
of my parents, when I was teaching, they would come get them, stop at the McDonald's on their way home, pick them up a meal, and go. And that's it. Some of them come, I tell you, some of them will come and they didn't bathe them the night before, or the morning. So it's hard. It's not easy, because some of them have three, four, five kids
Yeah,
that
Gene
they have to deal with.
Gene says there are ways where you can put parental control on these devices. Yeah, yes, definitely, Gene, definitely.
Yeah.
Preschool with Gifted Hand says I pick up my son one day, and the school was showing a movie that was not appropriate, and only the afternoon parents that came for early pickup knew. She says,
Oh.
and she has five.
Oh boy. God bless you.
And you see that is serious, and those are the
It
things
is.
we need to hold the school system accountable,
Mhm.
these daycares, because a lot of these daycares is having these children um being watched by these gadgets and putting
Yeah.
Mhm.
things on the television, because there's even a lot of these cartoon things that are not appropriate, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
That's the
um
crazy part. That
there,
now there's so many of them
that
that
is
may
not
not
And
be
I've worked in a
allowable.
daycare.
yeah.
I worked in daycare where when they're short staffed, you might have say 30 kids in the theater room with one
What?
teacher. So they have to put something that's gonna keep the children quiet and
Yeah.
entertained so
Oh,
the one teacher can watch all those kids. I've had it done to me. I'm telling you. But some of them do that to cut costs. Some of these daycare, and especially with the after schoolers, once their homework is done, they usually have just free reign. And when it's a whole bunch of them and they're short staffed, they put them all in one pile and give them a movie that's entertaining.
Yeah, so
yeah.
the parents have to be very diligent in in making sure that their children are, call these schools, talk to these teachers, talk to
Mhm.
the administrators, and let them know, hey, I walked in here and this is what happened, and this is just absolutely not acceptable. And that too, a lot of parents should do.
Yeah,
Up and
yeah.
what is going on. Jean says it isn't easy, but it is what you instill in your child so they know what is right and wrong.
That's
And
true. That's the primary thing.
Gillette says the problem is many parents don't use those parental controls. And
Mm.
preschool with gifted hand says yes. Jean says they need to put God back into the school and not only in private school. Hey,
Oh well, who is it? Who is that? Florida or Texas? That's what they're working on.
did you all see there was an article last week where there was and I know Queen you want to talk about the food real quick,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
there was an article the other day where a child um when the mom noticed a sticker on the kid, and the kid when she said, where you get that sticker, she says, oh, whenever it's bedtime the teacher put it on us, and it made the children fall asleep,
Oh,
What?
and it
oh,
yeah, it let the kids fall asleep, and that's how they get nap time, is
uh-uh.
these stickies, these stickers that they're putting on children, that they
What?
So it's not alleged because it's something that happened, but that particular school, let's say that particular school put these stickers. I'm trying to find it because I sent it to some of you all. They put the stickers on the kids for them to knock out, and the parent was saying their child was so groggy. It was like
Ah,
that child was
that's so
literally
scary.
drugged to go to sleep,
That
you
was
know. And
scary.
That's dangerous.
yeah,
It
very,
is.
very, very
And
dangerous.
you don't know, depending on the medication that the child is taking,
It's
they
on,
interact with this chemical that they're giving,
yeah.
you
And
know?
so
Not only that, they can molest the kids while they're sleeping.
anything
Oh
can
boy.
happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
can
Or
happen.
if,
What
or
kind of medication is that knock these kids out? You know, it make you wonder.
yeah. And,
Whatever they put in that sticker,
exactly.
I'm trying to
Or,
find it so I can tell
and
you.
then think about it. Or if the child was sick and the parent is taking them to the doctor and the doctor says, "Oh, did you give them anything?" No,
Yeah,
because you don't know. And then they give them the medication and the child doesn't wake up because of whatever chemical they gave them. So that is dangerous. You cannot give a child
that
anything,
is very dangerous.
not even cough medicine,
Is something for all
without
parents to
child
it's
parent
something for
acknowledgement.
all parents to watch out and to check their kid. Here it is right here. It is preschooler. Here it goes.
September, when she snuck one of her sleepy stickers out of the classroom.
She kind of pulled up her little shorts and said, "Mom, look, this is my sleeping sticker." And I was like, "The what?"
When Lane's mom, Lisa, saw the sticker, she thought it was strange and asked her daughter about it. And the teacher gives it to you where she put it.
On my arm.
And what's it look like?
These are what the sleepy stickers. This is what was happening to the kids when they gave them these sleepy stickers.
What the heck?
Their kids
Uh-uh.
stickers too.
I showed it to my 4-year-old, and she said, "Yes, that's the sleepy sticker." And if you read the ingredients on them, it has a lot of, I mean, it's just things I've never even heard of. And they're giving them drugs to make them sleep to keep them quiet.
Najala Abdullah tells us she'd noticed changes in her son, who told her he'd been getting the stickers too. She says he'd been crying, stopped eating, and was bringing home lunches that he hadn't touched. You think it could be a crime? Most definitely.
Yeah.
What? I think could be. Of course.
That's a crime.
This case,
Yes. So the parent has to consent.
Yeah, so these are somewhat of what the sleepy sticker look like. And they call it the sleepy stickers. So you all need to be very mindful of what's going on in some of
And
these
where your children are.
your children are totally out of it.
Yeah.
If they are out of it, you know, just start checking their bodies. Maybe now because it's out
Mhm.
and and it has been exposed. Maybe they try to get it off these children before they go home because you're thinking it's just maybe a regular sticker.
Yeah, to say they had good behavior.
Good behavior, something like that.
Mm.
So you think that
So,
that is it,
yeah.
you know. So I'm hoping. I don't know what the outcome is that with the school or with the children that this took place, but I'm hoping something be done or has been done in regards to it. I'm gonna go read a couple of these comments here. Um, uh, Preschool with gifted hands says I love the Texas mayor, and
Oh, okay.
that he's on it with the children and families.
Mhm.
Dean says yes, and most parents weren't aware of it. That's the sleepy sticker. And then she says, and some teachers don't get the proper preschool with gifted hand says, and some teachers don't get the proper training. And preschool gifted hand says some just hire these teachers, you know. And then Jean says the mother brought the child to the doctor and said that he can sue the school, so that parent let other parents know about it.
Mhm.
Donna says a similar medication that put us all to sleep
Here we go.
for 9/11. Juliet says, what would they do if the child is allergic?
Hello.
That's what we were saying.
preschool with convers says I have conversations with my children.
I wanted to bring that up. Yep, that's exactly a preschool
I
gifting.
have conversations with my children every day. And she also in preschool with gift in hands also said so sad. And then preschool says teachers should be held accountable for these stickers.
Yeah.
Jean says Jean says, I saw a program that advised parents to start homeschooling their children because the children of the future is doomed. Okay. So those are oh no,
Wow.
preschool with gift in says it's a crime for sure, for sure
Yes, it is.
crime.
It is.
And
Lady,
hold on one moment, the respect to preschool with gift in hand says this is my first time hearing about these stickers.
Me as well.
That's why Reasoning Thursdays, you miss a little bit, you miss a lot. Always keep it locked. We give the best in information. Preschool with Gift in Hand says the world is really changing. It
Yes.
sure is. Go ahead, the respecter.
young single women should be aware of these things,
Yeah.
especially if they're gonna go to some man house or apartment. Never know.
Ah,
Well, that's
something
true.
to think about. Yeah.
It's true.
If it left these children so impaired,
Yep.
that's something to think about for yourself. You know,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. They can put two of them on you.
Yeah.
Well, we
Agree.
know they
Give you a double
we
dose.
know
They give
they've
you the
been
one
putting
stick,
them
you get a double
we
dose.
know they've been putting them bait drugs in your liquor and stuff, so you can't leave it on the counter
Yeah.
unattended to. We don't know all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
but you know what? We always think yes. They say, watch your drink. Don't leave your drink unattended. If a
yeah,
man gives you a
only
drink and it's not
unattended.
close crop, and don't take it from him. But you know
Yeah,
what? Some of these men are in cahoots with the bartenders. So all they
that's
have to do is
true.
shake their head or something, and the bartender could do it for them. So when the bartender hands
And
it to you,
it's a terrible feeling. It happened to me one time. Thank God I had my sister. Normally, we don't go out without each other in those days. But it
yes,
happened to me, and it's a terrible feeling. You feel like you don't have any feelings in your body. You
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like weak and
that is
yeah, it's a terrible. It happened to me one
Right.
time. Yeah,
Our time is going. Well, it's 9:59. We're getting get out of
yeah.
the chair.
what. Stop
Time
it. It went so
flies. Yeah, it went quick. Queen, I know you wanted to
Yeah.
touch the food topic.
Well,
In just 30 seconds, could you just summarize
okay, real quick.
next week?
Okay, McDonald's.
Next week.
McDonald's gave a 200 million,
yeah.
$200 million to promote regenerative agriculture, especially with beef, the cattle, because of the beef patties, and they're saying it also will help the environment and the farmers.
All right,
But
so
what is more interesting
mm,
is the UN. What the UN is doing is they have been doing different parts in the Sahara Desert where they have been experimenting with growing grass and crops, and it has been successful. Not just well, probably Sahara part of Africa, but certain parts in Africa, like I hear a lady had mentioned, one of those countries, but
Senegal.
they
But
are,
Queen,
yeah,
Queen,
we do it next week.
yeah,
Next
because
week.
I just said to give a synopsis of what we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about this week.
next week.
Getting ready to talk
Next
the
week,
whole
yeah.
story. But next week we'll get into deep about what they're doing and how it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna impact you all, especially with
Mm-hmm.
your food that you're eating in McDonald's and all these other stuff.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about that next week. Once again, we just
Mm-hmm.
want to thank you all for joining us for Reasoning Thursdays each and every Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tell a friend and a friend and a family member to come on over and to join us because if you miss a little bit,
I know.
you miss a lot. And do understand that there's no topic that is off limit over here. So if you have a topic that you want to discuss, send it to DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. You could also call and leave your topic or message at 706 707 8952. All right. We thank you all once again for joining us. You could have been joining someone else and you decided to vibes with us. Listen to the other fantabulous programming right here on dapowerhouseradio.com. Listen to the Lady D show Saturdays 12 to 4. I am on a hiatus for the next 3 weeks. So I'll kick off back in October. And also be sure to listen to All About Love, Nothing But Love on a Sunday evening from 7 p.m. It's all about love. So get your loved one and get in that great mood on a Sunday evening, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And as you're doing right now, listening to Reasoning Thursdays, want to thank all of our sponsors who continue to sponsor us: Hinkson Law Firm, Unique Total Care, One by One Kia, Awesome Renovations, Mystique Enterprise, Botastic. If you would like to sponsor a program right here or a segment in the program, give us a link over at dapowerhouseradio@gmail.com. All righty, blessings upon blessings. You all want to say a river chair? Also, before you say real, the best in music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're driving or you're bored or anything, just turn us on and just cruise and listen to the fantabulous music. And we also play back some of the programmings as well in rotation. All righty. So blessings. Michelle.
Hey everyone, it was great being with you tonight. I'm so happy to be here as often, every week. And to say good night. But I see you next week. Same time, same place. Like and subscribe.
All right. Before you go, Queen, Donna says they drug us in our food at work in my company. I'm sorry to hear that, Donna. Gifted Hand said it's a list spirit on many of these people. And Preschool says we have to grow our own food. And food says most food isn't real. Ooh, you sound like Queen.
That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah.
And Preschool Gifted Hand says good night, blessings. Thank each and every one
Thank you
for commenting. Donna, Preschool, Jean, Gillette, Don Mineth. If I'm missing out a name, Conrad. We just want to say thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. Go ahead, Queen.
Well, River listen, it's always a pleasure being here, and I enjoy the show every time. And that's why I'm always so emotional about it. I like to spread information, especially important information. Tune in to us next week, same time, same place. And remember, share and press that like button. Love you all. Love you all too, panel.
Darespecta.
Yeah, if you want to be healthy, keep your mind exercised.
Leave it up to you. What a way to end it, right?
Oh,
we love you, Queen.
Good night. Good night, Preschool. Preschool, say good night.
I know we
Bring you tuned to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
That's the respect.
Good night.
No.
Jai, love you,
Good
Jai.
night.
Love
Good
you,
night.
love you.
Love you, Jai. Bless you.
Okay.